welcome to Quad-O-Matic. My name is Chris. I'm a C6, C7 quadriplegic, and this is my channel. Today I have a day off. It's late afternoon. I'm going to have an aperitif, a cocktail, before we get to dinner. So today I am doing what is called a Waldorf. It is a variant of a Manhattan. It was created in the old Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York, which was destroyed to make way for the Empire State Building. So at least something lasted from that. So let's get started. So cocktails are kind of one of my hobbies, I guess you could say. I like to learn their history. I like to learn where they come from, how to make them, and enjoy them. So I read a lot about cocktails, if you can't tell. The oldest book is on the bottom by Charles H. Baker. And then there's been some newer ones as well. Hemingway, cocktails are in there. Huge fan of Hemingway. So, all right, let's get started on this drink. So I'm starting with Peychaud Bitters. This comes from New Orleans. Has a lot of anise flavor in it, which will go well with the absinthe that we are going to add in this drink as well. So I screwed the cap off using my palm. Pick my fingers to get them a little bit sticky to hold this a little bit better. Just takes a couple dashes. A couple dashes will do you. Put that cap back on using my thumb and my palm. I'll set that aside.
And your hands don't work, right? So you're just using all Tino Deeses pretty much to grab and maneuver.
I've shown it before. That's all the movement I've got in a hand, okay, or in either hand. Next up, I don't have a jigger here, so I'm just using a shot glass. I'm using whiskey. I don't drink anything particularly fancy at home. So if you have a rye, that would go very well in this. Rye whiskey. I'm just going to use what I have. Any whiskey will really do. You can see I'm holding this with both hands. That'll do. That is about 2 ounces. I don't even think about putting the caps on some of this stuff, so if I'm not explaining that, I'm just using my palm and my thumb.
We talked about that, how you've been like disabled for so long that the things you do, you don't even think about it anymore. It used to be really hard for you to do anything. And I don't think about it.
This is going to have to be a quick pour. Okay, that's 2 ounces of the whiskey. Next up is going to be the vermouth. And maybe I should have started with the absinthe, but that's okay. We're going to mix it anyway. So, sweet vermouth, red vermouth. And I'm screwing it with my palm, my fingers. So there we go. And this just takes an ounce. About right there. It's okay.
So those caps are coming off pretty easy. What do you do when they're kind of stuck on there?
I might use my teeth.
Oh, and that
works.
works.
It's hard on a tin cap like that because you'll start to dent it if you're using your teeth. And then it gets harder to open in the future. So often I leave them a little bit loose to help me once I get them open, like a plastic cap or a tin cap. Once I get them open, I might not screw them on that tight because it's just going to be harder. So again, it's an ounce of sweet vermouth about, so I'm just going to pour that, quick pour. Okay. Last ingredient here is absinthe. I am using Pernod, which is a French absinthe, originally from Paris, as it should be. Absinthe was illegal for a long time in the United States because they thought it made you hallucinate and do crazy things. There was this whole thing with the green fairy. Drink absinthe and you're going to see the green fairy. That's not a thing. It was kind of a ploy, I believe, by the wine industry. Absinthe was becoming too popular and competing against the wine industry. So the wine industry greased some pockets and somebody made absinthe illegal. I think ooh, that's tight. It came back into being legal in about 2010 or so. Now you can get this in the United States, so that's a little tight.
That's why I asked about the bottles. We haven't opened that in a little bit.
Yeah, and it is some of these bottles get a little sticky because of the sugars in them. So I started it with my teeth. Might finish it with my teeth.
Is that one of those metal ones that already has teeth marks on it?
It probably does. I don't know why it's so sticky, but haven't used it in a little bit. Almost lost that. But I got it. All right. This is just a dash of this because this is pretty potent. So yeah, it's 80 proof.
Both alcohol and flavor.
Yeah. A lot of it's even more potent depending upon the brand you get. That's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to set that aside. Again, quick pour. Get that in there. Alright, so I'm using a mixing glass. I talked before about how clear drinks, which this would be considered a clear drink, if you can kind of see through it, it's a clear drink, and they should be stirred, not shaken.
Trying to grab this. Is a stirring spoon out there?
Yes, it is. And this is a Hawthorne strainer, so I just plop that in there like that. The spring should hold it in place. Oh, I didn't stir it. That's why you're hinting to me.
Yeah.
Where's the stirring spoon, Chris?
Well, I've seen you just kind of shake the mixing glass before. You're like, that's good enough.
So I hold a lot of utensils like this just between two fingers. Stir that around. Get that absinthe down in there. Now the Hawthorne strainer. So again, put that on there, snap it in place. So this is a pretty potent drink. You got absinthe in there, which on its own is pretty potent. Whiskey, of course, vermouth has alcohol in it, so there's a lot of alcohol in this drink. My rule of thumb is if it's a strong drink, it's probably going to go in a martini glass. Okay, there are some exceptions. So I'm just going to move this here, get that close. I'm going to use both hands on this thing. It's a little heavy with the ice in it and everything. So get that even closer. It's a good day for a cocktail. It's gloomy outside. We're having a nice fire. Hey, that looks about all of it. Came out pretty well. So, if you like what you saw, please subscribe. Goodbye for now.